What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. We got a new model in from Divo, so let's jump into it. All right, guys, we are checking out the Divo Mini Growler. I had no idea this one was coming. And when I found out and learned about it just in recent history, I got really excited to check this one out because, as you know, for the longest time, the OG Divo Growler V2 was my favorite Divo. I say was because something did take over that spot, but it's still one of my top 3 Divos. That's how much I really like this design. Now, there's a few things that are different about this one. Before we get into that, I wanted to talk about the knife itself. So my particular version has the belt satin finish S9DV, the 80s camo carbon with satin hardware, satin backspacer, and it has the steel wire pocket clip on here. This is a inset liner lock, and it is completely carbon fiber on the show side. If I recall correctly, I think that's how the original Growler was, but it's been a little while since I've taken one apart. You do have stamped bearings in the pivot. I've already swapped these over to skiff bearings, and it was glassy smooth before, but it just feels like absolute butter now. Very comfortable. I am a little surprised, I'm not going to lie. I do have very large hands, so I do hang off the back a little bit, and it looks a little ridiculous, choked up in the hand, so this is a companion carry for me. Kubi did a fantastic job with this. Good factory edge. I probably would say if you wanted to, you could lay it back a little bit more. This feels like in the 20 to 22 territory. I would probably take that down to about 17 to 19, depending on where it starts. But very thin blade stock. Awesome slicer going through the cardboard. And very useful with the way that they did this clip point. It drops it way down. So utility cuts, very easy to do. And pinch grip is perfect on this. This is a little guy, so very easy to use, and the pinch grip jimping all the way out to the tip, so getting into your packages is going to be really easy with this one as well. And you can, on occasion, I would say with this size of knife, I call it a mini, not a micro, you would be able to break down some cardboard with no issues. The blade geometry is so good on here, you're not going to get a lot of resistance. Where it comes back to me with these smaller knives is the leverage. If you're going to be doing a lot of cutting through dense, heavy material, this is not something that you probably would be most comfortable using. To me, I want something with a little bit more leverage that I can get more grip onto. I can get a grip, don't get me wrong, but I like something with more grip for hard use. Having said that, this is not what that's intended for. Let's be real. This is a lightweight EDC, going to be great for summertime carry. You can throw it in your 5th pocket of your jeans if the pocket allows for it. If you wear cargo shorts, maybe you throw it in a cargo pocket instead of your main pocket. It's going to be really great for the pouch. I think I unloaded the pouch because I wanted to demonstrate that as well. I did not, just kidding. Sorry, my SOG is still in there, but it does fit in here really nicely. So I do like that. If you're a pouch boy or gal, it's going to fit in there very nicely. Very thin profile, but very comfortable because it does have the contoured scales. Now, this compares to another knife, and I didn't check it yet, but I have the it's not the Rambler XL. Which one is this one? Quick Draw. This is the Quick Draw XL from Art Company, and ooh, I'm scared to force it in there, but that might just be that jimping gripping onto the, yeah, I think it is the jimping. It would be a little tight. You could probably wiggle it in there. Oof. Yeah, I think it is just the jimping. So I'll show you the other knife that I usually carry in that. I think it would stretch out slightly. Those don't stretch that much. The opening hole works very well for the reverse flick. The thumb flick, a little bit more questionable because the pocket clip, because it is a steel wire, it does flex a little bit on me, so I do move it around. Mine came with a little plastic insert underneath of it, and it had a little tap to it, so I unscrewed it, flipped it, screwed it down, and just kind of gently pried on it to get it to come back, and now it's perfect. There's no tap. That's completely gone. The other thing that's really impressive, they were able to keep this design, but they gave you a ton of room on the small knife. This is another small knife. I'll bring one out here in a minute to show you another one that's actual micro that they've done this well, but they've really nailed the ability to give you fantastic lock bar access for something so small. Now, if you have small to medium hands, this is going to be a fantastic primary for you. You wouldn't need to go any larger, and you would be able, with those smaller hands, to get a ton of leverage on this product, on this knife, on this knife, to be able to do the task that you want to do. And again, I just absolutely love this design, and with all of the different options, it's really, really interesting. So I'm going to read through them really quickly, and then I'll also try to see if Divo has posted anywhere any photos so I can put them up while I'm talking through this. So Divo Knives, White Mountain Knives, exclusive code JD4EDC will save you 10%. The drop happens on January 9th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US. This version that you see in front of you is the S90V with the camo carbon. So there are two versions, 154cm and S90V. The camo carbons are coming in an 80s, black pearl, and purple flow. There's limited quantities that are going to be titanium, that are going to be dark blasted, and blue anno. For the more affordable version, as I mentioned, 154cm, which is one of my favorite budget steels. It ranks #1 in my heart. I just absolutely love how well-rounded it is. Excellent edge retention, ease of maintenance, takes a fantastic edge. Very durable and corrosive resistance. Those are going to come in the weave carbon fiber. They're going to come with titanium handles that are going to be bronze anode or a black G10. All right, now price points. Before the discount, all S90V variants are $179.99. If you think about the fact that you're getting S90V with camo carbon at that price point before discount with my code 10% off, that is a fantastic value, guys. Then you're getting the 154 with titanium or weave carbon fiber at $124.99, and then the 154cm variant with the G10 coming in at $99, so under $100 before discount code JD for EDC on that one. I'm not going to run through all of this because we're going to do the weight here in just a minute, but very, very cool. I love this design. I still love this design. Let's do some size comparisons. All right, guys, so I am flexing a little bit with the premium comparisons out here with the Fireball and the Tall Boy, but I just had to get all of my camo carbon buddies out here in the 80s camo carbon to show this to you, also to let you understand that there are deviations between the variants because of how everything ends up being made at camo carbon and what it looks like when you actually finally grind it down and make it to size to fit, contour it, etc., etc. But you can see here it is much smaller than the Tall Boy, and it is slightly smaller than the Fireball, so that's something that's important to take note of. Let's do one really quick swap out, because what I thought it was going to be closer to is actually going to be the nip. I have the nip light out here. I don't have the nip, but I thought it was going to be a little bit closer to that when I heard mini growler. So I thought for sure dedicated fifth pocket, like the nip fits in the fifth pocket with room to spare. I actually have to use the pocket clip in the fifth pocket for my jeans to keep it from falling too far to get to it a little bit easier. But you can see, unlike the nip, which is truly a 3-finger grip for me on the full grip, and then my pinky can kind of squish up against the back there, and the way that one's done, so they made that work really well. And I wanted to mention, this is what I was talking about with that lock bar access. Really good lock bar access on that nip, and they obviously did such a fantastic job with the nip light, that there was obviously going to be an easy to do for them on the mini growler here. but I really like that a lot. All right, let's go ahead and get all these out of here. Let's do some budget size comparisons. All right, guys, so we have the Kubi Supercell for the full size budget comparison and the Kaiser Nice Guy. And really, I think the Mini Growler is super comparable size-wise to the Nice Guy, just because this is another knife that if you're choked back, it's a 3-finger knife, but they gave you an awesome forward choil here to choke up in that trigger position, so I'm able to get a full 4-finger grip on here. But unlike the Nice Guy, they went with the opening hole instead of the flipper tab, so they are able to leverage and give you all this space for that same style choil, and you don't have to, you still, for me, I need to trigger pull it, but you don't need to separate out to get that grip. So very comparable to the Nice Guy. The Nice Guy is what I carry in the Quick Draw XL all the time. So I think the Growler will fit. I just need to work it in there and kind of get it to loosen up a little bit more. I haven't carried that one as much. Let's grab the scale, check the weight. All right, we got the scale out here as I drop it viciously out. Let's cut it on. Check the weight on the Growler. I think this is going to be like 2.5 ounces, 2.3, even lighter than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I didn't guess 2.3. I think I saw it on the paper. Now that I see it on the scale, how does that 2.3 compare to the Nice Guy? Exactly the same. Again, I thought that was going to be an excellent comparison. How about the nip light? Coming in at 2.5. So the aluminum scales obviously add a little bit of weight onto the nip light, which is smaller overall, so that 2.3 is even more impressive in my opinion. Let me get the scale out of here and we'll wrap it up. All right, guys, final thoughts and impressions times for the Mini Growler. I really enjoyed my time with this one a bunch. This is my variant, so it is going to immediately get put into the collection and rotation, and it is going to be a companion carry. It is not going to be a main EDC for me, a little small for that, for what I like to carry as a regular EDC. The Fireball's kind of on the small side on what I like to carry, and then the Tall Boy's kind of on the normal side of what I usually carry as a primary EDC. But this will come in very handy in the summertime when I want to carry something a little bit lighter. I know that the 80s probably isn't something that you could flex into a gents, but I think if you avoided kind of flicking it out, slow rolling it open, opening a package, and then slow rolling it closed. Boy, words are hard. I think you could potentially, in some spots, office carry this, take this out on date night. I don't think it's going to be super offensive. Definitely not what I would consider a wedding knife. There's layers to it, I think. I grade on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is the lowest, 10 is the highest. Budget knives cap at 7 just because their materials generally limit them from going over 7. Having said all of that, I really like this one a lot. It's very well finished. I love the steels that they've chosen on it. It hits my heart a little bit. I kind of want to go high because of how much I love the Growler. The Tall Boy took over in the number 1 spot, and the Fireball took over in the number 2. But I think the Fireball might get pushed out if they came out with this exact variant in the original size. And I kind of wonder what a large growler, I don't know if they are extra large growler or something, I don't know. If they came out with a larger one, one that was like 3.6, 3.7 inches on the blade length with the matching handle, I think that would be awesome. All right, I'm procrastinating. I think I'm going to go 8-1 on this one. I really like it. Reminds me of the original. A little small. I'd love to have this version in the original size. I'd also really like to see what a Growler large looks like a 3.7 inch. Actually, just whatever you did here. Growler large in this size. I'd love to see that. I think the OG, it'd be kind of like the Mini. I think these are just references. I think it'd be the Mini, the OG Growler, and then the Growler large. I think would be popular. I would want it, but I could be I could be in the minority here. But I really liked this a ton. Let me know what you think about the Mini Growler. You're going to be picking one of the versions up. I definitely think you should. Again, 8.1, awesome score. I don't have too many knives that get into the 8s. I don't think I've ever had but 2 hit into the 9s. So really strong score, excellent price point, and Kubi just absolutely killed it. And I love this Divo design still. And actually, ironically, I laid them out in 1, 2, 3 where they sit right now, in order of my personal preference on the design. Right, these are the top 3 Divos for me, the original Growler, and you can substitute the Mini Growler in there because it's going to be a fantastic companion carry to these two. All right, guys, I've rambled on long enough. Thanks for hanging out with me. Links down in the description. JD for EDC will save you 10% at White Mountain Knives. This is the only place you're going to find these. And then if you're doing any other shopping, feel free to use the other affiliate links. They help the channel. Special shout out and thanks to my channel members. I love you guys. I'm out of here. I hope you have a fantastic week. Catch you next time. Peace.